right, we're going to try this out. We are going live again. This is the February edition of the Microsoft MVPs React. So we're getting it going. So and hear me actually on the audio stream. So we're doing a quick check there. And it looks like my video on my laptop just froze. So maybe the audio is working, but my video is not. It might be my camera. Of course. It looks like it's working, but it's not quite. My camera is giving me some issues. So the audio is there, but the camera's not. So hang tight while Michael figures out how to computer. This happens all the time, and I keep spending more money on gear to make it better, and it still keeps becoming angry at me. So we'll try this again. Let's go to this. Check that one more time. Camera, come on, little camera. Logitech Brio is my camera, and it is on a new computer, so that's maybe why it's a little bit angry today. All right, so I think that's back up. Let's try it again. All right, let's go to get out of studio mode. Let's hit the right button. Okay, so I think we're back now. Trying the audio. Looks like the audio is still good. The video is back up. All right, redo. Watch out, we're getting a couple bumps as we go here. So, oh, hey Shannon. Hi, glad you joined. So, Shannon or Donald, people who are watching, feel free. Please let me know in the comments. Can you still hear the audio, and is the video good? Looks like it's still working all right. All right. Yeah, it looks good. And can you hear everything all right? Maybe Donald give me a thumbs up on that one as well. All right. I think we're good to go. So let's get the MVPs in here. Let's move over here to this screen. Hello, MVPs. Welcome to the show. All right. I'm going to try and move my laptops around, so I'm kind of looking at you. I've got a lot of things going on, so I'm going to try and look at the camera as well as talk to you guys additionally. So thank you guys for joining. Let's go around the horn like we do every time. We kind of go through each screen and just give everyone a quick introduction, who you are, what kind of things you like doing. And then what we do is there any events or speaking things that are coming up for you? So feel free to tell us if there's any speaking events in the next couple of weeks that you want to promote. So let's start over here on the upper left hand. Daniel, go ahead and do your intro, and what are you doing? All right. So we may have had a glitch of audio right there. Again, muted. Yes. Thank you, Donald, for catching me. I think I got it fixed now. Daniel, go ahead and give me one more time through your intro real quick. We'll do that one more time. Sorry about that. All right, so it looks like I'm getting audio through, but it does not seem like people are still saying they're not hearing anything. So let me try one more thing here. Hold on. Retry. So I will do this. Let me just adjust something real quick. All right. Check. Let's check some audio properties here. All right, we're gonna try this again. Are you guys able to? So let's do this real quick here. I'll also adjust this. So let's get you guys my microphone. So I'm going to talk through my computer to you guys. Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So as long as you can hear me, I am getting that clear through here. Checking the audio coming through the Teams channel. So Teams keeps changing things on me, so I'm having a hard time keeping up with Teams and all the changes that they have coming on. Yeah, that's a true statement. True statement. Okay, so it appears I have audio from both areas. Okay, we can hear me. So Shannon says she can hear me now, but can they hear? Let's just double check. Can you hear the Teams MVPs? That's the thing. Okay, so we got half the audio working on the other half of audio here for the camera 4K. We'll see if we can get that one working as well. Why does that not want to go into the stream? Cam 4K, looks like we're good. I think it's there. All right, let's keep rolling along. Eric, give us an introduction for yourself, and then I'll keep trying to monitor the audio. Trying. Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. That should be good. I am no means an expert in the visualization space. I enjoy it. There's a lot of people way smarter than me, and I'm very happy to come speak. That'll be a lot of fun, and I think it'll be a good event. All right, we have a new individual. Craig, you're with us for the first time. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Feel free to jump in and give us an introduction. And is there any upcoming events for you?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I'm Craig Bryden. I'm based out of Brisbane in Australia. I run an analytics and machine learning consultancy. And I've been doing everything, data warehousing, cubes, reporting for the last 25 odd years. So that's what I get involved in, and most of the architecture these days. I also run the Queensland Power BI user group with Gilbert, and we have our next one is next Thursday, so 6 days away, where I'll actually be presenting on sharing, collaboration, and distribution within the Power BI service.
Awesome.
So if you're around for that, it is virtual, so you can attend from anywhere you like.
Awesome. Sweet. Love it.
Yeah.
Totally digging the virtual events. That's amazing. Tom, you've been with us a couple times now. Tom, welcome again. Appreciate it. What's going on in your world?
Okay, my world is a little bit similar to Eric's. It's almost midnight here in good old Germany in Hamburg. So, and after this, so this attending this session was keeping me awake. I have to admit this.
I'm sorry. Thank you for staying up late with us. I appreciate it. It's fun.
It's great. So I really love it. It's fun. So I have an analytical background, but for, let's say, 3 years, I'm more and more drawn in this governance, manage, self-service BI, compliance thing.
Sure.
And I love it almost more than this analytical things, but happy to talk about DAX at the Global Power BI User Summit.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, I think. That's going to be a fun event to go to. And it's all free, right? You just have to sign up and go. Is that a paid event or is that a free event?
I'm not sure. I guess it's it has a cost of almost, I guess it's not free. It costs $100.
It's cheap. It's easy to get to.
Yeah. It's really, really cheap, and I guess there's a lot of learning included.
Awesome. Well, that would be great. Do me a favor, Tom. Send me some links for that, because I'll put that one, or anyone else who, frankly, send me some links for these events. I'll make sure I get them in the comments or the description of the video below.
Will do.
Thank you. Stephanie, welcome. First time. I love the fact that you're here. Congratulations, making it to the event. Who are you? Where are you from? And what are you doing? What up events are you coming up for you?
Thanks, Mike. Can you hear me okay?
We can now.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I'm Stephanie Bruno, and I am joining you from the woods of Pennsylvania right now.
Awesome.
And let's see. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. I'm happy that, it finally worked out so I could join.
Wonderful.
I also want to show you first my shirt. You may recognize.
Yay!
Oh.
Love it. That's amazing. Love it. Totally digging it.
From Shannon.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see.
I'll put the link down in the
a
description so you can go get some of your own sweet Power BI gear. We're Power BI Tips is pushing some fun gear for everyone to enjoy. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Let's see. So I work for a nonprofit, so I have a bit of a different background than everybody else here, I think.
Yeah.
So I do all Power BI at that nonprofit. And in the course of that, of course, I got to participate in the community. So that's really my labor of love is all the community stuff and Power BI.
Awesome.
And I'm also very excited that Daniel's here because I use his HTML viewer in my Field Finder tool. So that's pretty cool to put all that together.
It's amazing.
Oh, and let's see. Upcoming, nothing that I can think of, but yesterday Shannon and I just did the Power of Women in Data that Prati is organizing.
Oh, awesome.
So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Love that.
So
we're
I
totally
think-
pro. That's awesome. Those groups are amazing. We need more diversity in any of this data stuff. Anyways, everyone can come with great ideas, and we love it. We love everyone contributing. So that's awesome. Well, I also know, Stephanie, you started a recent blog. You want to call that out because you're starting to put a couple articles out here and there about it.
Yes, finally, right? I've been meaning to do it forever.
I've been pushing
so
to
happy we finally.
do the vlog.
Yes, exactly. So it's Data Witches. So I'm one of two Data Witches. Shannon Lindsay's the other Data Witch.
I'll throw that in the link
yeah.
in the description as well.
Thanks.
Awesome. So let's jump into this month's update. So February was a very long awaited release. Usually it comes out in the first or second week. It's there and I'm excited to get it. And I've been like with bated breath the rest of the month waiting for it to show up. So there must have been some hangups. The Christmas break must have taken quite a long time for everybody to come back and get their code worked in. However, I would also say there's maybe holding back some things for Ignite that's coming up. There might be some more announcements coming in the future. So kind of this is kind of what happens near big events. They kind of fluctuate a little bit there in that area. So anyways, with that, anything that stood out to you guys on the release? Any new features that you want to talk about? Things you really liked? Things that were like, meh, maybe okay?
I'll start and say that I love the search bar. I think it's great consistency with the other Office tools. I use that search bar in Word and Excel all the time. So I think that's an excellent addition, and it'll be. I haven't had to use it too much yet, but certainly just playing around with it yesterday, it was really awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, so the search bar is, so for those who haven't seen the search bar, when you install the new desktop, which is out now, you can go download it. There's a new window, and it's just like every other Office tool. You can now search for commands, and it's going to try to navigate all the menus for you and give you the answer for those commands, which is pretty cool. I have been using it, and one thing I miss is it doesn't go down in the sub menus. So like if you do like align visuals by height, it gets like the top layer, like align. It does the alignment find, but it won't find align top or align center yet. So my guess is there's some more mapping that needs to happen potentially in the sub menus of Power BI to kind of get you there. So I like the feature. I think it'll be helpful. I'm a little torn though. I don't really know if I like typing what I want to find as opposed to just finding it and clicking on it. I'm still pushing for my quick access toolbar.
Yeah, yes, please. really missed that one.
Yeah, I find it pretty cool that external tools are searchable, which is quite handy.
Oh,
So you can
awesome.
find business ops in that, Mike, if you type it in.
Nice.
And the one thing that would be kind of cool is being able to choose visuals from it. So as a visual developer, I would love to be able to type my visual in there and see it, or just type in a quick visual and maybe just get one on the canvas
Oh, I like that
real quick,
idea.
just start editing. That'd be quite nice. But I think it's pretty handy if it's your thing. I don't use search that much, but I think I could.
Kim Manis from the production team was actually talking about that specific feature of search, and I think she said something on Twitter around that's her favorite feature that came out this month is the search bar for things. So should be a really neat feature. We'll see what happens with it and where it goes, and if there's many more enhancements coming for it in the future. Cool, love that feature.
What I'll say finally on that, just to Daniel, is I don't think the search bars are meant for people who use the tool 8 hours a day every day, because you get to know the tool so well, you don't need it. It's aimed at those features that you rarely use and you forget where they are in the menus. So, for people who maybe use the tool 1 hour a day and tend to do the same thing, then suddenly they need to do that thing that they haven't done for a while and they forget where the buttons are. That's where the search comes in really handy, and that's what I find with the Office products as well. The day-to-day stuff, I still use the menus, but the search is good for like, where's that button for the watermark in a Word document again? Just type watermark.
Or what is it? The master templates in PowerPoint? I can never find that button. There's a master template somewhere. I had to search for it every time.
Yeah.
Oh, but I work a lot with the Zebra BI visuals, and there are tons of options, and I never know where these options are. I know they exist, and for this reason, I really love the search bar. Even if I'm using Power BI 20 hours a day.
So has anyone done any searching on, does the search bar find settings that are in the options menu? Did you know, did anyone search for any of the options things? Because I feel like that's something that I would really like to see is like a quick get to all the options. Because I can't tell you how many times I don't like all the clicks to get into the option menu. I don't know if that works yet.
No. It doesn't seem to.
Everyone's pulling up Power BI and clicking into it. I love it. Let me check real quick.
No.
Nope, not there. Oh, maybe we'll go to ideas.powerbi.com and
good idea.
Suggest it. Awesome.
Yeah.
So any other features that are popping out too? I know small multiples is in preview, and we have some grid lines and background colors, which I think were very needed from the very first release that we saw of this, which there really wasn't anything to kind of like delineate between the different squares or grid. And I know Daniel, I think you've built a small multiples visual, and yours has like background and coloring and dividing lines, and now they're kind of taking some of those cues.
I don't want to say that stuff was around in 2018, but no. Yes, no, it's kind of, I guess they've got a huge amount of work to do.
Yeah.
And, having built one, I can, as a custom visual, which only does one thing, I can only really guess how challenging it's been from an engineering standpoint to actually get it done for more visuals and more extensively. So I think some of those cosmetic things are just, the things we want to wait for, but the things that are really valuable. Backgrounds and grid lines, really, really good for splitting that stuff up.
Sure.
Really helps, with the legibility. And it's really nice to see it come in. I think it's probably, from my standpoint, I know there's heaps of stuff that I would like to see in it. But that separation is one of the nicest cosmetic things we could do quickly, I think. And it's really good to see it come in.
Awesome. Let's see what else is other good ones. Any other good ideas or things that people have been playing with?
I think the new field list is pretty interesting.
The new
Actually,
fields
it's a
list.
small
Oh, yes. And where is that popular? Which one are you referring to?
It's the standard field list that has a new look and feel, and also the shortcut menu, and also the hide button. So when you want to hide a field, you can just click the icon for hide. You don't have to go into the sub menu to hide a field. But especially the ones where you probably all have done that, dragged a field and then hit another field and got a nice little hierarchy.
Yeah.
That is turned off finally.
Ooh, by default,
So
right?
yeah. So the creation of hierarchies must be activated by actually saying I want to create a hierarchy.
That's so good. I love that.
In the field list. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
So, and this is I think this what are all of these features related to on the report page, right? It's the report page and then the field list that goes on the report page. That's the one that's updating because a lot of this functionality was there, I think, originally on the model view, because the model view we have all the tables, and that one was kind of updated first. And so now they're bringing those changes over to the main report building space.
Yeah.
Awesome. So as we're talking about new visual things, I want your reactions to, have you seen the new linking icons that go between two tables? So there's two tables now, and there's a line between them. And previously we had a star and like a star, or a star and a 1. And I'm having a hard time with it. Like, I'm trying to really get used to it, but I'm struggling. I'm really having I want the old thing back. I lose a lot of context at my table to know what the relationships are coming into the table as. I don't know. That's me. I may have already tainted your view now that I've said my angst with this feature. But what do you guys think? Is it the same? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think?
I thought you were asking us to be positive, Mike.
I know. I was trying to. I'm trying to be as positive as I can, but a little angsty. I want it back, maybe. It's going the right direction. I maybe need a little bit more context here.
Personally, I'm not liking it yet. It'll be interesting to see how they evolve it, but yeah.
Tom, you want to say something?
It looks really, really good.
Yes.
Yeah. Today I was looking at a model that had 88 tables.
Yep.
And I was trying to explain this model to a colleague and was missing the cardinality icon next to the table.
Yes. I think in small models this makes sense. It's very clean. It looks sharp. If you have a nice star model or star pattern, what is it, star schema, I have a fact table and I have a couple tables around the outside. Perfect. Totally get it. It's the problem when I have like 100 tables. That's when things to me starting to spiral out of control here for me, and I'm like, I really just need the indicators at the end of the lines to help me out. So I definitely will have the Firebun ideas on PowerBI.com bring back some more indicator value here. I was thinking about this as I thought through the idea. I was thinking, well, how would I reimagine what this looks like, right? I go to Google for everything. So I go to Google and I start Googling like relationships and tables or SQL database relationship view things. And I was wondering, what if they did something like change the color of the line, where I could see the line root was like a red for like a single connection, and then it would change as it would kind of like transform down the line to like the receiving table, which would be like a green or another color. Maybe color indication would be good for me. I don't know. It may make it too busy on a page to see all the colors around the page, but I feel like maybe there's something there to be artful, but yet still functional. And I think I lost some of the functionality of it that made me a little bit sad.
Have you looked at the new website that the Italians have made, the DAX.do?
Oh, that was huge. Yes.
There is a diagram view there as well.
Yeah.
And
I'll put that link in there.
Now we can't load we can't put our own models in there, but I like what I see.
Which website is that, Eric?
I put in the link to in the chat, so
that's quite nice.
And that should go directly to the diagram view.
It's stinking amazing. I don't know how long they've been sitting on this thing, but kudos, Marco and Alberto, mad kudos for designing DAX.do. Incredible. I tweeted about this and I'm thinking, man, these guys, they know what the heck's going on. They're thinking ahead. the design is beautiful, looks really good, and I had to think, why can't I connect dex.do to my XMLA endpoint and maybe
that
write
was
some
my
measures?
first thought as well.
That's my first thought. I was like, I want to use this. This is a great tool. I want to use it on my own model now. And I have to imagine they're thinking about that from an XMLA endpoint standpoint, is be able to hook that thing right into whatever it is. So I'm really excited to see where that goes. That's a great tool. Not technically Power BI related, but I think it's definitely worth noting this month. That was really cool. I was very shocked to see that come out.
And that could have made its own special episode of MVP's React, huh? It's just incredible.
Oh, you know what? Webinar. I should go hit them up and be like, hey, let's do a Dax.do about this thing. That would be a great idea. I love it. Yeah, super cool tool, really neat. Has everyone played with Dax.do? Yeah?
Not now.
No.
Okay. You should definitely go try it when you have a chance. It's definitely a winner.
First, I have to do some working through a tool from, do not know this Power BI tips guys that did some.
Don't trust anything from that guy. It's crap tools all the way. That's awesome. Let's see what else we have going on here. The color picker. Do you guys do styling with the color pickers? Did you guys see that change out there as well? This is a long needed revision here, I think. Yeah? No?
Yeah.
So it felt like it was paint.
Moving forward.
We've moved into a modern era with our Visor color picker now.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things with it is, and I don't know how many other people use this, but I quite like the fact that the old one had the revert to default option on it. Like when you could pick a color, but you could actually click there's a little hyperlink there that let you just restore the default, which is kind of missing.
Oh, that's a good point.
But I like the design.
Yes.
The design is from the Fluent UI stuff that Microsoft are pushing across a lot of their products.
Yes.
And that picker it has a lot of stuff optionally extra that could be weaved in. Things like alpha level transparency and stuff like that. So
yes,
that didn't turn up. I would be really excited to see if that would come in, because that could produce a lot of interesting variety with coloring and styling visuals, particularly with things like opacity. You'd almost get that, but I assume there's probably some very specific reasons for that not being enabled. But that's probably my logical leap there, is I'd love to have seen that alpha picker on there. That would have been a really nice thing.
So there's a little, I don't know if you use this or not, but inside a theme file, you can add alpha to things and it will obey them. So if you have the hex code is a 6-digit long, let's get that with camera here, a 6-digit long thing. And then there's 2 characters at the end. That's another hex for, I think it goes from 0 to 255 in hex of the transparency of whatever you're picking. So if you want a title that has a transparency to it, or if you want a header background that has transparency, if you modify it inside the JSON theme, you can actually add that into your theme file. And so that's something I have been toying with inside themes.powerbi tips to kind of give you that ability to like not only have color picking, but color picking with transparencies on top of it. And that could be really interesting if you start adding a transparency option to any color across the page. I think that could be really cool. And I would love to have in a measure controlled function about color to add transparency as part of my function that I can adjust the transparency of things too. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a trick I use in custom visuals sometimes to hide away some mandatory colors, which is quite handy. But again, if I use the color picker, I just can't set it. So it's a sneaky thing under the hood. But maybe one day we'll see it. It'll just provide a little bit more control, I think. But it's definitely, it looks nice for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I think David Ellersveld he brought a blog post up from a while back actually that explains how the shade and the tone work, and it's a lot more intuitive, which I think is quite nice.
I'll try and find that one. Is that a recent blog that he just did about that?
He recently reposted it. I can dig that out because I've talked for a while. not used to talking so much.
Yeah, no worries. Has anyone else found any other features? I do want to get your reactions. Has anyone played with the anomaly detection that's now in the ribbon? Did you see that?
Mike, literally everything you say is the one I'm going to mention, and then you
Oh,
bring it up.
I'm so sorry. Okay, Stephanie, which one do you think?
Like you're stealing my thunder.
Stop stealing thunder.
I also wanted to mention, I think that you're like the producer in the reality show who tries to get people to fight a little bit, which is maybe why you brought up the lines, the connectors with the and I don't think people thought about it like you were hoping, Mike.
I'm distraught is what it was. I was distraught about the line thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that the community in general will backlash a little bit about that. We'll see where it goes. I hope there's a little bit more design. We need more from it, not just the bar in the middle, I guess.
Yeah. No, I haven't played with the anomaly detection yet, but I think it looks really cool. I'm excited to play with it. So I was hoping maybe somebody else has used it.
No.
So I have played with it, and I just did a training class for UWM, Milwaukee School of UWM, University of Wisconsin Milwaukee, and at the end of the class, I was kind of like, hey, here's some bells and whistles. You go through the whole, it's like dashboard a day kind of thing, where you go through all the things about Power BI. And at the very end, I'm like, oh, by the way, here's anomaly detection. Here's AI. Here's all the other visuals that go along with it. And, oh, thanks, Daniel. Here's all the other visuals that go along with all the cool enhancements. And so this was one of the ones I showed them. And it was fun because it was on a video call, and I'm watching them, and you just start seeing jaws just drop. They're like, what? Out of the box, this thing just shows up. So this is, I think it's a really cool feature. And I believe with the anomaly detection, as you click on the data points that are coming along, they kind of just glazed over it. And there's a point to another article that talks more about what anomaly detection is doing. And then they have a community post about specifically the anomaly detection. But if you think about what's going on there's a lot of really interesting things going on inside that. So definitely would recommend playing with the feature. It seems, I would say, from a business challenge standpoint. So I think I work a lot with business people, and a lot of times I felt like what we were doing was running one way or the other because the sales were down for a month. And we weren't really looking at the data from a critical standpoint, how far out of bounds was it? Where we look at the standard distribution of this data, and are we outside of a bounds of room for causing alert? And so I feel like this is going to be one of these stories that you would want to put on more charts where, yeah, sales were down by 3%, but not so much that it's out of normal for us this time of year or this seasonality. And this will help us kind of point out when is there actually a problem with our data, when is something very out of bounds. So I really think the feature is going to be cool. I don't think people understand how impactful this could be.
Yeah.
It only works on an imported data set, right?
I think for now it only works on imported. Yeah, because the AI is it's got to classify everything, I think, in the model. And I think if you look at what it does, I believe if you click on a data point, it gives you, hey, these are dimensional columns that are potential items that may be impacting this reason. So why did the spike happen? Here's some classified, and Stephanie, this is probably your area here, a little bit more in the data science space. We're looking at all the dimensional characteristics and say which dimensional characteristic attributes most of its information towards that spike in increase. So again, play with it some more. I was doing some demo stuff around it, and it's like the AdventureWorks data set, right? When country was this, it was driving 20% of the value of that total spike by sales or something like that. So if you think about sales breaking down by country, it starts trying to highlight where those values are coming from, which I think, again, you're looking for needle in a haystack type stuff. This is really cool. At least it gives you some place to start pointing to and looking towards to see if, hey, that might be an area we might want to investigate.
So actually, it will also be maybe interesting to track or trace the DAX statements that are generated when you hit on one of these data points. Maybe there will be some unfamiliar DAX functions popping up.
Well, and they have, right? So they already have AI functions in DAX that they're not really well documented, are they? I mean, so tracing them, right?
They have.
This is with
Yeah.
SQL Profiler, right? When you put SQL Profiler on your analysis services model, and then you run, click on things, and then you can listen to the queries that are generated from the clicking events. Is that kind of what you're talking about, Tom?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And so in there's already an AI I don't know, whatever, forecast. I think some other training model pieces there. So that would be interesting. Next month, Tom, you'll have to give us a report back. What fun features did you find underneath the sheets there that we can look at?
Will do.
I'll hold you to it. I have to write it down so I remember next time. Awesome. All right, I'll open it back up. Any other kind of, so we don't have to talk just about desktop. There are also announcements around data connectivity, some service things, mobiles. They did a couple enhancements here for visualizations as well.
What I really like, maybe the last thing about this desktop, is that Power BI Desktop is now able to read Parquet files. So this is, I guess, of course, it had been available for data flows, but now it's also available for desktop. And I think it closes the gap between the machine learning, data science, whatever Spark people are doing. They are creating Parquet files. And now this comes a little bit more closer together with the analyst that is reusing their results.
And I assume, Tom, you work with a lot of Parquet files in general, right?
Sometimes.
Okay.
So sometimes I do.
You don't. It's CSV is like so old school, right? We don't do CSV anymore. It's all Parquet.
So, but there's a plus to CSV files because it can be opened with Notepad++.
True. So I do a lot of work with Parquet files, and particularly Delta Lake. Do you guys work on Delta Lake at all, or any kind of lake based? Craig, you do a little bit of that. Do you go into?
Yeah, we do a bit of that.
Okay. Do you look into like the Parquet files or what's going back there on the back end at all from the Delta Lake side?
I can't say that I do. I'm sure some of my colleagues do. Generally when we want to connect Power BI to that, in all cases at the moment we're working with Databricks. So
Sure.
There is a Databricks connector which we use instead.
Oh, okay.
So the power, if you are using Databricks, I haven't tested any performance differences between them. So, well, like I say, I haven't actually connected directly to Parquet using this connector yet. That's I think if you got the Databricks connector and you are using Databricks, might as well use that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for hopping in. So someone's, I believe, dropping. Who was that? I didn't see the chat there. Is that Stephanie? You got to head out? Who was dropping for kids?
Yeah, I need to.
Hey, well, thank you very much for coming. Feel free to drop. No worries. We'll keep going here. We would love to have you back again for next month. We'll do another one, and we'll send out a meeting, hopefully in advance a little bit, so we can get people on board. Thank you very much for coming, Stephanie. Have a good one. We'll keep talking here for a little bit more.
Lovely to get to meet you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Mike, just to let you know, I'm going to have to drop off in about 5 minutes as well.
Yeah, no worries. I'll be clean with our time. I'll let you get out of here quick. So I did want to go back to your Parquet comment there. I'd be really curious, and maybe we should work together on this, is to do a bit more testing on, does Parquet files, reading them, is that faster than going from a CSV file? So I'm in the same space. I've got a bunch of data lake stuff, and we do the same thing. We connect to the Spark cluster or directly to the Databricks connector, go get the data. But that requires me to have the compute engine up and running. I need a cluster that's there and spending money to have the data there. Now that I have a straight Parquet file reader, which I could have done CSV file dumps before, but my understanding is Parquet files are storing things in columnar stores. So it's a columnar storage format, so it's highly compressed. So like you could get like a 10 gig CSV file, and it's like 2 gigs in a Parquet file because it's optimized. So I'm really curious if I could start dumping my data lake information or things that I need in my analysis services on a process where I just dump out the files, leave the compute engine alone, and just go suck up the files right into my Power BI data models. No need for anything compute-wise. I can just read it. So I feel like that's a very relevant story. And frankly, for me, I think I could save a ton of money on not having to have a persisted Databricks cluster up just to read data into analysis services, which is what we're doing today. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually hadn't considered that yet, but you make a very good point, because that is a challenge at some of our clients. I mean, obviously, if you are using Databricks as opposed to open source Delta Lake,
sure,
they have recently released their new SQL endpoint, which is significantly cheaper than a standard cluster.
Yeah.
Which I think they're trying to address this exact issue with that.
Oh. Wait. Tell me more about that. You can turn on a just SQL only endpoint in Databricks?
Well, it's a new type of cluster called SQL Databricks SQL Analytics. You can go Bing or Google that, whatever you use. And it's currently in public preview, so you actually have to request it to be enabled in your environment, in your Databricks instance. So once they enable it, you can stand up a new type of SQL Analytics cluster that is I don't want to give you the wrong information, but I believe it's less than half of the cost of a normal cluster. And its purpose is to give you, and you connect to it like you would with SQL Server.
Oh, that's cool.
And you write SQL statements against it and do whatever you need to. And, it's got a full ANSI SQL query engine built into it. So besides being cheaper, it actually makes it easier for those people who are not quite Python fundies or experts yet. They can write SQL.
I like that actually a lot. I'm gonna have to check that out a little bit.
Yeah. If you're using Databricks a lot, I would highly recommend you get yourself across that. I've seen 2 demos from our local Databricks representatives already, and I've played with the technology, but not in the real world.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, so
the one thing I will say is that I don't know if it's just because it's a preview feature, but I did notice that comparing using the Databricks connector to a standard cluster, just the standard one out of the box, versus the SQL endpoint seemed to be a little bit slower.
Okay.
Which I don't know why, and I haven't had a chance. Sorry, what was that?
The initial connection is what you're saying. Is the initial connection to it was slower, or is it just slower to load data?
Actually, slower to query the data. The data seemed to take almost double the time to come back, which was disappointing. But I haven't had a chance to follow up with the Databricks guys as to why.
I'll go look into it. That sounds like a really interesting option, actually.
Yeah.
Cool. So I know everyone's right out of.
Head off.
Yeah, go ahead. Appreciate it. I was going to do the wrap here, anyways. If we don't have any other brief comments, I just want to say thank you guys very much for your time, and gals. I know Stephanie's already gone. Thank you very much for attending. This is fun. I enjoy this. I hope you guys get a kick out of it too. We'll do another one next month, and I love all your input. You have great perspectives on the ecosystem that is Power BI, and I appreciate all of you guys as colleagues and equals. This is a blast. It's so much fun for me. You guys are good, positive people to keep me out of the weeds on my miserable relationship thing that I'm going through right now. I'll come crying your shoulder later on. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. And we'll do one again sometime soon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
See you all soon.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.
See you guys.
Yeah.
See you.
Everybody stay safe.
Good night, Eric.
Good night and good morning.
Yeah.